Podcast Rock City.
What's up, everybody? Joe here from Podcast Rock City. I want to thank you guys for listening to the last show. I'm without words. You guys are so awesome. You keep listening, and the numbers keep getting bigger, and I appreciate all the mail that I've been getting in the comments. I'm taking on a project where me and some friends are going to put together a documentary about you, about Kiss fans, the Kiss Army. Anyway, if you go to podcastrockcity.com, there's a little thing on there, a little tab. It says, I'm a Kiss fan. Click on it. It'll tell you what you have to do. We're still working out how you guys can send us the video that you make. Just plain video. You don't have to edit it in any way because we'll do all that. But put it together. Follow the directions that are in there. Basically, there's like 3 or 4 questions that you have to answer while you're filming the video. And do it with some friends if you're all Kiss fans. That would be really cool. Anyway, we're going to put it all together. We're going to have all the podcast guys that want to get involved doing stuff on it as well. And that's going to be a lot of fun because you'll get to see all the guys that you don't normally get to see video of, unless they do video shows, of course. But I think it's going to be a lot of fun. It'll be really cool. We'll slap it on the web, and it'll be fun. podcastrockcity.com. Go there. Film it. Get involved. This will be one of those things. If we're going to use your video, we'll send you a note and we'll let you know and we'll handle it from there. But stay tuned for how to mail them to us because apparently these files are too big for regular email and we're going to work out a way for you just to mail them to us. This map showed up on my Podomatic site, and it showed me all the countries and everything that you guys are listening in, and man, you guys are all over the place. Hello from Atlanta, Georgia, U.S. It sounds silly, but anyway, let's get to our topic. Kiss played last night. The show, from what I can tell so far, just from the first song, the video that they put on Kiss Online, looked pretty good. It was the Monster Stage, and the song that they started out with was completely shocking. They started off with King of the Nighttime World, and I know that was not in our wheelhouse as far as thinking that they would start with that. I was online last night on Matt Porter's Facebook page, The Kiss Room. If you haven't ever listened to his show, go and like his Facebook. He does one show a month. It's live on the internet, and it's 2 hours long. He doesn't just talk Kiss. He also plays music. It's really awesome. Anyway, man, everybody was throwing out, the songs that they thought Kiss would start with. And, of course, Detroit Rock City was the one that, and Psycho Circus was the other one that they thought that the band would just start off with. But I got to tell you, this set list... It's not the usual to me. It's not what I expected. First of all, nothing from Sonic Boom. Nothing from Monster. Now, that doesn't mean they're not going to add it later, but for the first show, there was nothing. What Kiss did there, by not adding any songs from those 2 albums, and that I'm telling the truth here, is we are going to get bombarded by all the new Kiss haters going, oh, what's wrong, Paul and Gene? Couldn't play any songs off Sonic Boom or Monster? Why? Because the album sucked? We're going to get a lot of that, and it'll be fun to watch everybody fire back. But anyway, let's get into this set list. King of the Nighttime World, I already told you. Cold Gin, War Machine, Hide Your Heart, Christine 16, Shout It Out Loud, I Love It Loud, Making Love, Psycho Circus, Let Me Go Rock and Roll, Black Diamond, Detroit Rock City, and Rock and Roll All Night. Kind of a short set, but still all great songs, all like classic songs, all great songs. No filler there to me. No, nothing where I don't. The set list that I got, it didn't say whether or not there were drum solos and guitar solos, although I'm sure there were. But the set list for me is awesome. I would love to see this show. If I would have paid money to be at this show last night, I would not have been upset at all. I would have left going, wow, I got to see exactly what I wanted. When Jody Havnot from Strange Ways Kiss Podcast and I did a show about what we expected from this, what I said was I really hoped that they would do some classic songs, and what we both agreed on what would happen is not this. We both agreed that we would just get that same old that Kiss has been doing to please a lot of the, people who not only are Kiss fans, but, are new Kiss fans or just a casual Kiss fan, where they would just play the stuff that everybody knew and, so everybody goes away happy. But, for me, because I've seen them so many times doing that show, and I even saw the Monster Tour last year, I would not have been happy to see that show again, because it would have been like, again. With this set list, it gave me exactly what I wanted. I would have had zero complaints, which brings me to my question for the day. Had you been at this show, would you have been happy? Would this set list have pleased you? Do you think that this was worth the, if you're sitting on the lawn, $50, if you're sitting in a chair, I guess $150. I don't even know what the tickets cost yet. I haven't gone and purchased mine yet, although I will be, because they're coming here in just a couple of weeks. Let me run through it again. King of the Nighttime World, Cold Gin. I love that song. I can't remember the last time I saw that song in person. I'm sure they played it places. I've never checked out every set list for every show, and I bet some of you have. But, in the past couple of years that I've seen them, I can't remember Cold Gin being played. War Machine, I have seen that played, but still another one of those songs that, is really cool. And it's, even though it has become kind of an ordinary song to hear, something that they will play, it still is, if it's off Creatures, I'm happy. Hide Your Heart, didn't see that one being put in there at all. I'm sure that most of you didn't. Let's see. Christine 16, I'm happy with that. That's one of the classic Gene songs. Shout It Out Loud, it's a staple. It has to be in there. It's from what my buddies call the second Rock and Roll All Night. It was Kiss's attempt to rewrite Rock and Roll All Night, and it became a great song, and everybody loves it, so it's really awesome that it's in there. I Love It Loud, another staple. That this is one of those things that it's just going to be in there every show. You got to deal with it. And it's a great song, and it's one of those ones that everybody gets involved in. Making Love, did not see that happening. And I am really excited and hopeful to see the video of Paul singing this, because I'm praying that his voice held up during it, because that's one of my favorite Kiss songs, and everybody knows that I love Paul Stanley. He's the man. The only thing, I'm just like everybody else. I'm hesitant. I'm waiting to see the videos. If you go on Kiss Online today, the video of Paul singing is pretty good. He's staying in his zone. He's not going out, which is something that we all love. But I think that if it were me, I would prefer to hear Paul singing well in a range that he can sing, rather than trying to go out of that range and hurting himself or having his voice break up like it has been. But Making Love is one of those songs where you've got to kind of push it. So I'm waiting for online people to post videos. So far I haven't found any. So it's really funny, because I expected to see them by now. Psycho Circus, there was the one that we kind of expected to be the first song. It wasn't. That's another song, though. If in the video for King of the Nighttime World, it felt like the in the video he sang pretty well. It felt like the backing vocals were heavy on Gene, Tommy, and Eric. It felt like Paul was in there, but it was thicker with the with the other guys. And I'm sure that's how it was with Psycho Circus. Let Me Go Rock and Roll, Gene Simmons sings that one. So therefore, the Paul issue doesn't really come in. But what a great song. I know a lot of people that are probably like me that every time they hear that song live, they're like, man, I love this song. It really kicks ass, man, especially live. I like to listen to it at home, but when you see it live, I was in Detroit at the last Cobo Hall show with a buddy of mine, and when we left that show, it was so funny because he said exactly what I just said. He goes, man, every time somebody asks me what my favorite Kiss song is, I always say A or B, something else. But he goes, but when I see Rock and Roll, Let Me Go Rock and Roll, I'm always like, man, that is such a great song. He goes, it's got to be in my top 2. It's true. I think there's a lot of us that feel that way. It just drives, and it's really just an awesome song. Black Diamond, can't not have that on the set list. For me at least. I would Black Diamond, 100,000 Years. Either one of those, I'm happy. Set list is good with one of those in there. And Black Diamond is awesome. Detroit Rock City, another staple, another song that we thought might have been first, but in this show it was second to last. And of course that's another song that they can't, go without. Rock and Roll All Night ended the show, at least according to what I'm looking at right here. This is the only set list I've found online today, and it didn't say anything about anything after Rock and Roll All Night. Awesome video on kissonline.com if you go there. Man, they even did something a little different that I don't remember happening. And when the curtain fell, it looked like streamers shot out all over the crowd. And that was pretty interesting. So the question, let's get back to the question of the day. The question of the day is, if this would have been your set list, would you have been pleased? Would you have felt like you got your money's worth? Now, I was reading a little about the Def Leppard stuff yesterday, and there was a little bit of shocking stuff in there. And then I didn't hear anything about the opening band. I have not gone online and listened to them yet. However, I plan on it. It's just another one of those Doc McGee bands that opens for Kiss and never makes it big. It just feels like that every time I see. And these bands are usually really good, but they never, with the age of music today, it's really hard to be a new band and to make it really big. Although one would say opening for Kiss is huge. All right, so there we go. That's our 20-minute Kiss fix. Send your messages to me, podcastrockcity1, the number 1, at gmail.com. Tell me, was this cool or does this suck? And then go and watch the videos, that the people are putting online, and let me know what you think of that as well. Also, do not forget, go to podcastrockcity.com, read up on how to, and what the qualifications are to make a video to go into our I'm a Kiss Fan Kiss Army documentary. It's going to be fun. It's going to be awesome. It's going to be one of those things that you can be part of. And I mean, I'm not even sure, how many people I'm going to get. So, I mean, I might get 20 videos. I might get 10 videos. I might get 5. Whatever. We're going to use them. If we get 100, we may use a little bit from everybody. But the point is take the time. Go online, read the qualifications, film the video, you and your friends or you and your kids, do it in your Kiss room. There's just a few things that questions you have to answer. Go ahead and do it. It'll be a lot of fun, and it'll be cool to have the chance to get your video on in this little documentary. Plus, the people that I have putting it together actually do movies, so it's not going to be cheesy, Windows put together. It's going to be a nice, video. And all the guys from podcasts that I know are getting involved. As a matter of fact, the Crazy Nights guys out in Australia just agreed to do it. I got, Watching You. Those guys have gotten involved. I know Matt Porter said he's going to do something. Cassius said he's going to do something. The Strange Ways guys are going to do something. So it's going to be one of those things where it's just going to be all of us celebrating what it's like to be a Kiss fan. And I think it's going to be pretty awesome. Don't forget, go to iTunes, post a review. I appreciate it. I know I'm babbling. I really feel like that too. Okay. Next show, we'll have Jody Have Not, and we are going to discuss, I don't know. We're going to discuss, we'll discuss something. I'm going to make him come up with a topic because I'm always coming up with a topic. Anyway, see you guys next time. Peace.